Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Astrology News Report, an alternate view of world events as seen through the lens of Vedic astrology, presented by yours truly, Ron Berger. Today is October 11th, 2015. In this segment, we'll take a look at the week that was, and how the planets' positions in the zodiac matched up with the past week's events. Since entering Leo in mid-September, Mars, the planet of aggression and violence, has been together with Jupiter, the planet of beliefs and religion. This combination increases the potential for violent acts driven by ideology, of which there have been many examples lately. Last Saturday, 2 bombs went off in Ankara, the capital of Turkey, during a pro-Kurdish peace rally, killing nearly 100 people. In the aftermath of the horror, thousands took to the streets protesting against the government. The potential for violence continues this week and next, as Mars and Jupiter continue to be in close proximity. Another horrific event happened earlier last week when Mars, the planet of war, was directly opposite Neptune, the planet of confusion. A U.S. military plane bombed a Doctors Without Borders hospital in Kunduz, Afghanistan, during the battle to retake that city from the Taliban. The horrific event happened a couple of days before the exact opposition, which was on Tuesday. But note, too, that Mercury was retrograde, the planet of making rational decisions, backwards in the zodiac, and additionally, Mercury in conjunction with Rahu, an eclipse point that obscures things and adds to the potential for miscalculation. At the end of last week, Mercury, planet of rational decisions, was still in its retrograde phase, indicating backwards decisions. Mercury also conjunct Rahu, again causing obscuring and confusion. Rahu in Vedic mythology is a demon, noted for deceit and other forms of bad behavior. It's interesting that this was happening in the sign Virgo, which is the 10th house in the USA chart. 10th house of a country's chart is the house of leadership. On Thursday, Kevin McCarthy, who everyone assumed would succeed John Boehner as the new Speaker of the House in the U.S. Congress, suddenly and unexpectedly dropped out of the race for the post. Oh, and where does the deceit factor of Rahu come in? Well, turns out part of the reason for McCarthy dropping out may very well be his rumored affair with another member of the House of Representatives. Mercury, by the way, is the planet of gossip. This new development throws the Republican Party into total disarray, since there is no other obvious candidate to replace Johnny Boehner. Check out the USA chart, where Uranus, planet of unexpected events, is transiting in the 4th house, the sector of a country's chart that represents opposition to the leader. Uranus is now exactly opposite the USA natal Saturn. Saturn represents the established order. Uranus is the planet of rebellion and disruption. Another manifestation of Uranus transiting in the 4th house of the USA chart. Record-breaking rain fell in South Carolina last week, producing historic flooding all over that state. In some areas, 16 inches fell in one day, a record for anywhere in the U.S. In the United States astrology chart, we see that Uranus, planet of exceptional events, has been transiting in the 4th house of lands. Additionally, Uranus being exactly opposite the USA natal Saturn, and Saturn stands for structures as well as stability. And note too that Uranus is transiting in Pisces, a water sign. By the way, this is a slow-moving transit and will be effective for several months. In other words, expect more bad weather this winter. Okay, that'll do it for this week's Review of the Week. You can keep up with daily astrological developments and contribute your own thoughts by following me on Twitter at Astro News Report.